For nearly 2 decades, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were viewed as one of the most admired celebrity couples in the world. She was the elegant Oscar-winning actress from Hollywood, while he was the talented country music superstar from Nashville. Together, they appear to have created the perfect love story, a marriage built on resilience, fame, passion, and family. But behind the glamorous red carpets, emotional award show speeches, and romantic public appearances, their relationship was reportedly struggling for years. According to recent reports and growing speculation, their once-envied marriage ultimately reached a breaking point after nearly 19 years together. Today, we take a closer look at the rise and fall of one of entertainment's most iconic couples, from their difficult pasts and whirlwind romance to the personal battles that slowly pulled them apart. Nicole Kidman was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, in 1967 to Australian parents who were temporarily living in the United States. Shortly after her birth, the family returned to Sydney, Australia, where Nicole spent most of her childhood. Her father, Anthony Kidman, was a respected psychologist and biochemist, while her mother, Janelle, worked as a nurse and educator. Growing up, Nicole was known for being incredibly shy. Teachers often worried about her confidence because she would blush intensely whenever she had to speak publicly. However, despite her quiet nature, she possessed an extraordinary imagination and emotional depth. Acting quickly became an escape for her. She first explored ballet before moving into drama classes and local theater groups. By the time she reached her teenage years, it was clear that she had remarkable talent. Australia's film industry was expanding during the 1980s, and Nicole seized every opportunity she could find. Her breakout role came in the cult Australian film BMX Bandits in 1983. Hollywood soon took notice. With her striking appearance and emotional performances, Nicole rapidly rose to fame. During this period, she met actor Tom Cruise while filming Days of Thunder. Their chemistry was immediate, and the pair married in 1990, quickly becoming one of Hollywood's most photographed couples. Although the marriage appeared glamorous from the outside, Nicole later revealed that those years were far more complicated than they seemed. Their relationship existed under intense media scrutiny, and the pressures of fame became overwhelming. After their divorce in 2001, Nicole reportedly experienced one of the darkest periods of her life. One of the most painful aspects of the separation involved their adopted children, Isabella and Connor. Nicole was devastated by how distant the relationships became after the divorce. Friends close to the actress claimed she felt emotionally shattered, not only losing a marriage, but also feeling disconnected from the family life she desperately wanted. The heartbreak transformed her. While her acting career flourished, her personal life remained deeply fragile. Nicole longed for stability, trust, and a true sense of home. Meanwhile, on the other side of the entertainment world, Keith Urban was fighting battles of his own. Keith Urban was born in Whangarei, New Zealand, before moving with his family to Queensland, Australia, as a child. Unlike Nicole's reserved personality, Keith developed a restless and rebellious spirit from an early age. His father introduced him to country music and encouraged him to play guitar. By the age of 6, Keith was already performing publicly. Music quickly became his entire identity. He devoted himself completely to mastering the guitar and building a future in country music. As a teenager, Keith performed in talent competitions, bars, and small clubs across Australia. He eventually dropped out of school to pursue music full-time, believing there was no backup plan for his future. However, alongside his growing talent came serious personal struggles. Fame and pressure introduced him to alcohol and substance abuse. Even as his career began to rise, Keith reportedly battled inner chaos and instability. In the early 1990s, he moved to Nashville, Tennessee, hoping to establish himself in American country music. After years of grinding through the industry, his breakthrough finally arrived in 1999 with his self-titled American debut album. Suddenly, Keith Urban became one of country music's fastest rising stars. Audiences loved his guitar skills, emotional lyrics, and charismatic stage presence. Yet behind the scenes, he continued struggling with addiction. By the time he met Nicole Kidman in 2005, he had already spent time in rehab and feared his personal demons might eventually destroy everything he had built. When Nicole and Keith met at the Day USA Gala in Los Angeles in 2005, their connection felt almost cinematic. Both were Australian celebrities living internationally successful lives, yet both carried emotional wounds from their pasts. Initially, Nicole believed Keith was not interested in her because he waited months before calling after they exchanged numbers. But once he finally reached out, their relationship progressed rapidly. Nicole later described Keith as someone completely different from anyone she had previously known. He was emotional, vulnerable, artistic, and unpredictable. For Keith, Nicole represented elegance, stability, and emotional security, qualities he had struggled to find throughout his life. The public immediately fell in love with the pairing. They were described as Australia's golden couple, two internationally famous stars who had somehow found love at exactly the right moment. In June 2006, just over a year after they began dating, Nicole and Keith married in a lavish ceremony in Sydney, Australia. Their wedding looked like something out of a Hollywood fairy tale. Nicole wore an elegant Balenciaga gown while Keith serenaded her during the reception. Friends and celebrities described the event as deeply emotional and romantic. For many fans, the marriage symbolized redemption for both of them. Nicole appeared to have healed from the heartbreak of her divorce, while Keith seemed ready to overcome his addictions and settle into family life. Unfortunately, reality proved far more complicated. Only 4 months after their wedding, Keith checked himself into rehab for alcohol abuse. The news shocked fans and created immediate pressure on the newly married couple. Nicole stood by him publicly and privately during this difficult period. She visited him during treatment and refused to abandon the marriage despite growing media scrutiny. Keith later credited Nicole with helping save his life during that chapter. Still, insiders claimed their relationship quickly developed an unhealthy imbalance. Nicole became the protector, caretaker, and stabilizing force in the marriage, while Keith struggled to escape the role of someone constantly needing rescue. Despite these early difficulties, they spent the next decade carefully building an image as one of Hollywood's strongest couples. Nicole continued starring in major films such as Australia and Rabbit Hole, earning praise as one of the finest actresses of her generation. Keith became one of country music's biggest stars, winning Grammy Awards and selling out arenas around the world. In 2008, the couple welcomed their first daughter, Sunday Rose. 2 years later, they welcomed another daughter, Faith Margaret. Becoming parents brought enormous joy into their lives, especially for Nicole, who had always dreamed of rebuilding the family life she once lost. Publicly, they appeared deeply devoted to each other. Keith frequently praised Nicole in interviews and award speeches, often becoming emotional while speaking about her support. Nicole described Keith as the person who brought her back to life emotionally. However, maintaining the marriage became increasingly difficult behind the scenes. Keith's demanding touring schedule kept him away from home for long periods, while Nicole often filmed movies in different countries. They reportedly created strict rules to avoid spending too much time apart, but balancing careers and family remained exhausting. Nicole reportedly valued structure, routine, and emotional stability, especially for their daughters. Keith, meanwhile, embraced a freer and more spontaneous lifestyle. Over time, these personality differences reportedly created tension inside the relationship. Friends close to the couple claimed Nicole grew tired of constantly feeling responsible for holding everything together. Keith allegedly struggled with feeling controlled and emotionally monitored, yet they continued presenting a united front publicly. Their marriage became symbolic to fans, proof that love could survive fame, addiction, and personal hardship. As the years passed, rumors about problems in the marriage became more frequent. Tabloids speculated about arguments, emotional distance, and struggles behind closed doors. Nicole and Keith consistently denied the rumors, often appearing together shortly afterward to silence speculation. but insiders claimed the pressure of maintaining their public image became exhausting. By the early 2020s, reports suggested the couple had begun drifting apart emotionally. Nicole focused heavily on family life and protecting their daughters from media chaos, while Keith immersed himself in touring and music. Those close to them described their marriage as increasingly fragile. They still loved each other deeply, but their emotional needs no longer aligned. Nicole reportedly wanted peace and consistency, while Keith continued craving freedom and escape through music. Eventually, the tension became impossible to ignore. By 2024 and 2025, speculation about separation intensified. Nicole was increasingly attending public events alone, while Keith was often spotted touring without his wedding ring. Although both continued speaking respectfully about each other publicly, many observers sensed their relationship had fundamentally changed. According to reports, there was no explosive scandal or dramatic betrayal that ended the marriage. Instead, the relationship slowly unraveled after years of emotional exhaustion and unresolved issues. In late 2025, Nicole reportedly filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The filing shocked fans around the world, even though rumors had circulated for years. Sources claimed Nicole agonized over the decision for months because she desperately wanted to preserve stability for their daughters. However, she eventually realized she could no longer continue carrying the emotional weight of the relationship alone. The divorce documents reportedly stated that Nicole sought primary residential custody of their daughters, while both parties agreed to share decision-making responsibilities. Just days after news of the split became public, Keith appeared on stage during a concert without his wedding ring. Fans immediately noticed emotional changes in his performances. During one performance, he reportedly altered lyrics in one of his songs in a way many interpreted as a reference to the divorce. He also removed certain songs associated with Nicole from his concert setlist entirely. Audience members described his performances as emotional and vulnerable, almost like public therapy sessions unfolding live on stage. Meanwhile, Nicole largely remained silent. She focused on spending time with her daughters and continuing her acting work while avoiding public drama surrounding the separation. At film festival appearances following the divorce reports, she appeared composed and professional, though many observers believed she looked emotionally heartbroken beneath the surface. Ultimately, the story of Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban became more than just another celebrity breakup. Their relationship represented hope to millions of fans who wanted to believe love could survive enormous personal struggles. For nearly 20 years, they fought to maintain that dream together. But sometimes love alone is not